That was. That feels different.
You mean you were doing like push catch and I didn't know, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not push catch, like a high five.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going this way. Okay, so that makes a difference.
Not, what I'm wanting to feel is this popping like this, so that my hand gets up into that little lock position. Yeah, it's more like that.
Oh,
And so the way you accomplish that is, I'm not even gonna use pressure, I just want this side. So your forearm was almost parallel with the ground, your elbow was up. When you got it to work, your elbow was down.
Yeah, I forgot about, I use an analogy of a swing set.
Yeah.
Swing set, go like this. Like when we were doing push catch, I always like to try to remind myself that my elbow is going to go as if this is a swing on a swing set and this is a swing on a swing set, and it goes that. So it comes up here. Move the elbow so it swings. Yeah.
slow. Hurts you.
But as this is coming forward like this, it also is causing the motion. Right now, what you're trying to do is leave your hand in position and put your elbow here like that. Then it should be more like, as this is.
That's the start of the bunny.
Yeah.
Let your left heel move just a little bit quicker. So the second this swing starts, you're kind of going, and then kind of as a last ditch effort, you're doing that.
Oh,
So let your heel and your elbow kind of mirror each other, I guess, or work together. Definitely got more body movement
A
with
lot more modifiable, yeah, but here it felt like there was no torque whatsoever. It was like this got left alone, but all this action happened here, just pushed me down.
yeah, I'm not feeling it here. I'm not feeling it either.
Just switch them around. Here. And the other side here, like this. And then swing that.
This is a perfect technique for using deliberate bridging as well,
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
because you're literally laying here.
Yeah.
So the second you start that pivot,
Hmm.
just relax a little bit.
Okay. We'll try that. You're pushing. And,
I wasn't sure who was doing what.
here, and then I'm like,
Yeah, you didn't even swing it that time, you just kept it tight.
yeah, I think when I was thinking about the bridging, I forgot about my swing.
Well, on that one.
One thing that happened.
On that one,
Oh,
you didn't even.
two
you
balls
didn't
in the air
even-
here.
Somehow, you didn't even need that, it worked.
Okay, cool.
You did deliberate bridging, right?
Right, I had the
Yeah.
bridging, but then
So it makes it so, it makes the other stuff so easy when you do the deliberate bridging, as long as you get that timing right.
Yeah.
Because they relax.
yeah, I started to feel there was more pressure here, and I said, that's the time to do it, right there. I'm pushing you.
Oh, I was gonna let you try to get.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see what you did.
Here.
You're assuming he'll do it again.
Okay, so that one didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, because the time before that, it actually worked.
All right, let's switch.
Okay. Which way? Then we're doing.
I'm pushing you. I'm pushing
Oh,
you.
you're using them. the other gets it, I gotta think. This one. Here. Wow. Better, because, yeah.
Yeah, you're not.
I don't have.
Torque here.
Look at something real quick. All right. So we're trying to affect pressure
Right.
outside, diagonal across to the inside.
Principle, right?
Where is my body? Outside or inside?
Outside.
No.
No? Inside.
Here's my sternum.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here. Right? I'm trying to do this. If
Feel
I'm inside,
Feel strong.
it's like I'm trying to push my car this way.
Okay, gotcha.
My heel, now I'm outside.
Okay,
My heel puts me on the outside, and then I can direct that pressure.
First thing we always forget is footwork.
outside.
It already feels better, but worse than yours.
Yeah,
I understand.
feels like you're doing it better, but making it worse.
It feels
I think it works for you.
feels effective.
Okay. No,
You get a good twist on that.
yeah,
You got that motion,
Yeah.
because your elbow went up.
There's a little bit of motion. Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
probably want to do the other foot forward so that you can do the footwork easier. Yes, there you go.
So you want to be here if you're going to do the deliberate bridging. If you want to skip the deliberate bridging, you want to be here.
Okay.
So kind of Oyata mindset of I do the motion where I end up. Right. So if he pushes and I get here, I don't do the bridge. If I end up
If
here,
you're on muscle on his muscle.
yeah, if I end up here, then I push and relax.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what's the definition of deliberate bridge?
Oh, okay. I thought you had. All that is concentrate on your muscle real quick. Okay, just concentrate on what it's doing. What did it just do when I released it? What did your muscle do? So right here, now fight me. What'd your muscle do?
No, kind of pops it this way.
If this is, I'm creating a bridge and then I release it. All right, so if I'm doing some sort of technique and you're really strong, if I fight it, the second I release that, you feel what happens here. So strong,
Oh, I relaxed.
you relax,
Okay, got it.
right?
Yeah.
So I create a bridge and then I release it.
Oh, yeah.
And your muscles, human nature, you're fighting something and the pressure goes away, you immediately relax. One of the best ways to demonstrate it is grab both arms and don't let me move. Okay, totally relax first. I'm going to take my arms this way. Okay, now don't let me do that. Tighten up. Okay, now that you felt it once, try to stop it again. So we're here fighting. I'm trying to go this way. When I relax, you relax, and you cannot stop that. Now, obviously, that status is not going to stay there forever.
Is that brief little?
Yeah, it's just a brief moment where your body goes, "Oh, he relaxed, I relaxed," and then the fight's going to be back gone. So you have to exploit that. So that's what we call deliberate bridging.
Okay.
I am creating some sort of resistance for you to build up so that I can release it and then exploit that half a second of your muscles being relaxed.
And it's also what we classify as facilitation as well,
Not necessarily,
because I'm letting it come the way it wants to go. No.
not necessarily. So like, if we go here, right, totally relaxed, I've got Tuite, right? He starts to resist, he's pushing, I squeeze.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no facilitation or
Because I popped out,
deprivation.
yeah, I popped
But
out.
the second I released, he released, and then I hammered back on. Now, if I did that same thing, he's straight. Now that time is facilitation. You're pushing forward.
Yeah,
I delivered bridge, released, and then I facilitated your.
but in
forward
this case,
motion.
in the case before though, when you were pressing here, I felt myself resisting outward this way. I was like pulling this way.
Right, but
So then when you release, you allow me to continue to go that way.
I'm not pulling you that way. I'm just releasing your pressure.
Oh,
Right, right.
I assume that by releasing pressure, it's also kind of a type of facilitation, saying, okay, I'll let you go there.
I would say if I was going to, if your pressure's going up and I go, so I went that way with my thumb. He's pushing up to resist it. I slide up with my thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facilitation.
Okay, so with that in mind,
Plus all the other things that you have to keep in mind.
Where's our New Yorker?
is it okay?
He hasn't logged in last week, or I mean, last 5 weeks.
Holiday season, I guess.
Yeah.
So, that in mind. Thinking-
Here, you're not, we're in a position for the facilitation.
I know,
Okay,
I know, 'cause I haven't gotten that part yet.
gotcha.
So, I wanna go. I want you to resist. That deliberate bridging. This.
Definitely gotta, need a release there.
Yeah,
So you're still in kata. Bridging. Facilitation. So in kata, I delivered bridge, facilitation.
Yeah.
See, I'm sliding, I feel this bridge, I release it, facilitate.
Slide with that next. Slide like I do that one. Yeah, pretty strong.
yeah, you are.
No, I mean, I felt like I was in a position of strength, but I'm not a strong person.
Yeah.
Still kind of missing the bunny hop a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a.
His hand looks almost like a U, and you need a U with a twist.
You with the twitch.
Yeah.
There.
That's another thing to remember, of all the little things you have to remember.
Yeah.
Swing set, you with the twist.
Yeah. There it is. There real quick. Let's see, something.
What is the one called that you just showed us where you pull it up, or is that not even? that's
It's
just-
in there.
It's like a variety of it or something.
It's a miss to the inside. It's probably yeah, sure. That's it right there. And there's two kind of versions of that. There's the no wrap and the wrap. So what I did was here to here.
Yeah.
And depending on how this is gripped, you may end up here or you may end up here. That could be height disparity as well. The wrap version is.
With the wrap version, don't you have to say it with kind of a rhythm?
Yeah. And Brian.
I'm gonna think what that motion, yeah. That motion, in kata there, right there, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's in.
Kusan ku.
Yeah, the follow-up is different than the two katas, because one, you do it and go here, and one, you do it and go here. Pinon, the other one's Kusan ku. Right.
Sanda. I can't remember what that's from. Sanda, right? That's the one that, to me, is a lot different than all the others. Something here is not the same as everything else.
You call OSHA?
Funny guy. It's over.
What's the agency that handles toxic chemicals?
Something else.
Yeah, it's just a variety of the one we just did, so we're doing the same thing we were here. But then we're kind of doing a wrap, and he was showing how it has a lot with that motion in Kusan Kui, where you have your hand like basically.
Yeah, that move, you know, sundown.
Here.
So yeah, to the other side. That's slipped, but we could have locked that in place with a.
Am I supposed to allow that to escape like that? No.
So, and, all right, so right now you're thinking this and this and then this. And see, you've created a problem there.
Yeah.
So in the kata, of course it's mirrored, I'm going to the far ear, then to this ear. So instead of walking here, I'm coming.
You're already coming
here. And then that allows me to keep that elbow down because I've gone here to this side. And then it can transition to that side. Right. And then that's where this is the lock, this is the rotation. So the rotation happens there. The heel starts coming out, the body turns.
Okay. And I assume the timing of release there has to do with the pressure being pushed back by the adversary. Okay.
I noticed when you were doing it, you could actually go to the opposite ear, just kind of short of it. Or there.
No, I'm going here. And then
Okay.
right. It's the mirror of the kata that I'm going. That first part is I've come in here and then I'm trapping. So I'm pinning his hand to my palm.
It's pretty comfortable distance.
It rotates there. Yeah, everything's tandem together as you rotate your body.
There was kind of a slippage in there, but
Yeah,
I don't know what to say about what to do there. That's better and too fast. Well, what's better than too fast? Now let me try that back. Here. Here. Well, I started to do the route instead.
Yeah.
Here, we got to practice more than that, so that holds that there. And then.
You're,
The one thing I noticed, comparing what you were doing and what he was doing.
Okay.
Which, so, looks like what you were doing, you're coming up tight in here. When I saw him,
Keep it all out to the out away from his body. Oh.
yeah,
the difference is that where the elbow is in relation to his wrist. So, you did it both times. My elbow is on the thumb side, pin and turn.
Yeah.
What you're doing is elbow on the other side and then trying to turn, right? So it's on the outside and coming here is what you're doing.
Somebody did it correctly.
Here,
Elbow stays on
And
the
I'm-
inside, okay.
here, my elbow is down here. I'm below that. And then,
We come up and then, oh.
so in kata, we don't go here to here. We go here, we lift and avoid our giant nose, right? We lift.
Okay. I'll try that one more time.
And then bring your elbow back here. And that, what's that doing?
That's facilitated.
Facilitating.
So we're sliding.
There you are.
And here. And then
See, you let his arm both straighten and his elbow roll. So that has to do with your body position versus his.
okay.
So as your left heel goes out, your right foot needs to come towards him to crowd him. There you go. Yeah, yes.
Both guys.
See, otherwise,
What I was doing was like this.
yes,
Not
yes,
pulling away
you're pulling his arm straight, which
Yeah.
makes it easier for him to
Okay.
resist.
Yeah. You got a little bit more finger action than wrist action, but definitely was a lot better motion. But I do. Yeah, yeah, that was good. You got that tweak right there. Yeah, you got it. You do the other side.
because I was thinking the other technique and not trapping here and let loose.
Yeah,
A little better.
I think it was just you're a bigger guy than I am.
Look real quick. Anytime, so you're starting kind of here. With that elbow up high. Think more here.
And he's pressing in, just like he's getting like a nut.
Oh,
It's like a nutcracker on my.
I'm
okay,
I'm
because I'm
really
trying to,
there.
yeah, because I'm trying to muscle it as opposed to proper positioning.
That's why I said you're a bigger guy than I
And so,
am.
and so what I'm doing is I'm kind of muscle it in this way instead of going
And
here.
then he's also making that like that, yeah.
Yes,
Squeeze like you've got a tennis ball in your armpit and you're trying to keep it
so
there.
it's more the lats as opposed to trying to. use the
Yes,
biceps
very
here.
much.
More the lats, and
Feel that nuts.
We should use the cannonballs. You can put it here, you keep it, you got the technique right. If you let it open, it drops on your foot.
Come on, you can do it.
Still think you're kind of overshooting the runway, so. If you go in really deep, it's hard to get that lock here. But you can correct it if you go in too deep by,
Which he's doing facilitation there.
yes, I'm doing facilitation, but you see where I'm at, I'm here and you're like up here trying to do this, right? And so when if my elbow's up here, naturally his elbow is wanting to come up. If I'm here, right, I'm in this place and I'm kind of doing that, squeezing and bringing it over, his elbow doesn't get that urge to rise as
So
much.
every little twitch I would do the polka dance.
So just slide your elbow back first before you bend your arm.
You know,
There you are.
yeah, pretty darn good.
And rotate pinky in a little bit so that you're in the groove rather than making a support brace. Support brace in the groove.
And I'm assuming that that slide is, instead of just being a linear motion, it's more
Yes, yes.
So- D.
But that's good.
Scooping.
If I put a board here, his wrist doesn't bend. If you think a 2x4, right? So if I put the flat piece of the 2x4, the 4-inch piece of the 2x4, his wrist has a wrist brace. If I put the 2-inch piece of the 1 5/8, whatever it is,
Oh, yeah, the rotation.
then his wrist can wiggle. I want his wrist to wiggle. So as this comes back, I want to put that ulnar bone in here. I want to put the small side of it in that notch.
So that, yeah.
Makes sense.
Tiny pivot.
Tiny bone.
So that this is. Height.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got it down this side, let me try this side again.
I never feel like I've got it there on any side.
This way.
Just better than the last time.
So spilled your drink.
Yeah, it's a mnemonic.
Oh, okay, that's what.
Finger straight up and down like a glass.
All right, this is your drink.
That's your drink. You spilled your drink. Elbow. Comes.
Oh.
So you went.
Oh,
spilled your drink.
okay, gotcha, okay.
Here's your drink, sir.
Oh, it's a
Don't
bad.
spill your moonshine. I use that with the mountain people. I'm training with them all the time.
On this side.
Everybody has a better and a worse side.
Yeah.
Some people have two worse sides.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know how they make that happen.
That one there, I mean, you had some good twist on it, but mostly that shoulder, with you having more muscle than me, just kind of pretty much said, go down, little guy.
Mm.
That was like more of that. Now, it's not like you have your way down. I don't know if that makes a big difference, but it's like comparing positions here.
This way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that little,
Okay.
that little cock,
Look for it.
where it, bing. Yeah, where something.
You tell him he's got a little cock.
No,
That's
where
what
it's.
it's-
I was thinking more like that, a cocking motion of a
I
gun.
may have to edit this.
Change one of those, letters. Beep. The cog in the wheel.
We try that. This way.
It's a drink break.
fill in the drink also.
I think it was a bit too low, because the idea is, here, here,
Here, and I was down
here,
here.
way down there, yeah.
And shift this here. Perhaps a minute. There's this.
It'll list that.
You'll lift, oh yeah. Oh yeah, what I even said earlier, lifting your drink. And setting it on the bar.
Glass, wait a minute, you're pushing me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, am I doing something wrong?
Here.
Is this a rhetorical question?
Here.
So.
I guess at the end there, it's okay to spill the drink, right?
It depends on where you're taking them. If you're gonna do a long drag out or a kind of zigzag instead of back on their ass.
Yeah, I think at that point, I'm thinking, hey, it worked. Instead of that work, I think.
Up and.
And then, oh, sure, that's right.
Yeah, let's do this.
Other side, and then we'll move on to something else. Here. I didn't do the left, okay. And also, I was way, again, I was down, yeah, my hand was down here.
Make sure lats.
Rewind.
What you were doing, I was doing.
So do both of you do either the Pinon or the Kusanku version of this, just without each other? I just want to look at you. I want to look at something real quick. Do yours again. Do yours. So here's the way I learned to do that motion. I'm here. See where my elbow is? How it's coming in. As I do that, what I'm seeing is elbow out with you guys, and that's what I'm seeing here, right? So I'm here, elbow out, versus here, elbow in. I'm bringing that into my core, and then
Which, this is a strong position.
this, yeah, you're strong here, right? When that elbow is just inside your ribs, just barely, you're strong. The more that elbow goes out, the weaker you are. Yes, yes. Instead of one of the things Tuite talked about is instead of thinking, how do you put this? Instead of thinking kind of like a lasso, right? I'm putting an obstacle here, and then my elbow stays where it's at. I'm my body now turns that elbow.
So, and I think we tend to think that this is moving around the head as opposed to the head moving around the hand.
Exactly.
I know that I think of it that way when I'm doing it. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
this comes here and now
So I'm here, I set. Now, this pretty much stays where it's at. The elbow. I mean, obviously the hand moves a little bit, but I'm establishing the frame.
Yeah. So this motion, this happens, but we don't have any of this.
It's definitely not elbow out.
Okay, okay.
Well, we apply this now.
Consideration if you.
Get the camera.
On a motion.
See how your elbows.
Oh, it's
Out
gotta be
here.
here.
But here's, okay, watch real quick. You're trying to get your elbow in by doing this. I'm doing this. Essentially, I'm doing an inside block.
Because,
I'm here and I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
which is also caused by that idea that you're scooping.
Yes, and I'm doing it, an inside block. I'm trained and my ulnar bone is in the notch. Here, the elbow goes out, because what you're essentially doing is you're going here, you're creating a fulcrum, but your elbow's going.
Right.
And then you're trying to do this. If I did that, if I ended up windshield wipering, I would switch.
Which was my
I would
initial,
switch to this motion.
that was my initial instinct, because I think I was in that motion where it's like, okay, now I'm gonna do the
Yeah.
wrap, and I said, no, it's not.
And again, they're all valid, right?
Right,
But you gotta be able to feel that if you're trying to do this technique, that elbow needs to be in the ulnar bone, needs to be in the notch.
or maybe not even if you're trying that technique, but that's where your arms end up being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to do a specific technique forces you into doing things where when you make a mistake, you're still trying to do the technique, but maybe that technique's not valid anymore because of the mistake you made. And if I did windshield wiper around, I would go right into that and drop them. and it's really valid
Which
technique.
made me happy that when I first screwed up this technique and went into the wrap, I did it without even thinking. So I was like, okay, cool. You're sliding, press screw.
It's better elbow position.
And the lift was good too. Sat me down. Now, let's see what I can do. Here.
See, yeah, you windshield wiper.
Yeah.
When we're down here.
Do it inside.
Better.
Something else or?
Sure.
More of that thing. We're gonna continue with miss to the inside or miss to the outside? There's a whole bunch of them.
Or you could do a few minutes of arm bars to give your wrist a couple minutes off.
That's a good idea too. We could do that.
Okay, arm bars.
Arm bars, shoulder locks, V locks. You can actually get into a V lock from that same position. You push, I went here.
What?
So you went here. Take this hand, scoop down, go to here. Come up there. Then go into, whatever else you want. Do that. But that's what most people call a V lock. It's a shoulder lock from the front. We typically do shoulder locks in the back to the ground. A shoulder lock in the front is a posture move, right? So I'm here, I take this hand, like if I went up here and I just like barely had his fingers, right? I know I'm not gonna be able to get that wrist lock. So I dump, come up to here, right? And that just made him take a step. Once he takes a step, then I pass and I can Shiho strike right there to the neck, go do an arm bar there, whatever, Just trying to keep it somewhat the same setup, but lose the wrist lock.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, very nice. However, I think you want to be more like this. What do you do to make sure that their elbows are like this?
It's just a timing thing. If it ends up that way, all he's got to do is switch his hands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
a new position.
Interesting.
The hand switch or what?
Just a little bit at a time. And a slow one.
I think once you get to here, think of your left hand like me say she. That makes him that motion. That makes him take a step.
Sometimes we call it answer the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
this side comes out this one. Answer the phone.
there. And then what I did was I just dropped down and struck him in the neck, and then that puts him in a position for several different arm bars.
Yeah.
If you look at that motion in Shiho, that's you're here. This is going up, and that's going right to there. Both.
Hey.
Underneath you shape sheet.
There you go.
There you go. Make you take a step and then just your left hand just dumps it around and then yeah, and you can even do the Saison neck drag.
Yeah.
Sounds like something from like Star Trek or something. The Vulcan
The
death
Vulcan.
grip, the face on neck grab.
That came out wrong.
Yep, it
Both
did.
on the same side.
So
Roll with it, roll with it.
if you ended up two hands here, you just need to get on top a little bit to get to there. And then switch. So you just gotta use your upper body because you went under instead of over.
Oh.
Take that step, now you do the other thing.
That's very much. So you ended up in this position. What's that? Shio, yeah. Very much so. That's why I love Shio, man. There's just so much when you start getting in Shio and Spider, the Chinese part of the art. It's just all this close up. It's like, holy crap, hey, that's from Shio. You just end up in these positions. You've been doing it so long.
I still remember. Dude, 7 months back or maybe last year or whatever, we were training in there. And just out of the blue, Scott comes up behind me Rather tight, any warning or whatsoever, he does.
Yeah.
And he had them so tight, finally, I guess it. From She-Hulk, and I broke out that way.
And so.
And it's high.
This, and let it go. And this.
Yes.
That, and then you're saying from here.
Take your left hand and just dump it. And then, yeah, right hand goes right up to the neck, however you want to do it.
Well, easier than I thought it would be.
Good fluidity.
Thinking I was doing very well with this one. That next drag is not something I practice much, so I don't know if I would actually do that.
This one in particular, or just any extra?
You know, I mean. We don't do the neck strikes in fast for obvious reasons, because it's potentially damaging. Possibly out when you're around the face, so I don't remember us striking each other's necks all that long. It was more kind of like.
Yeah, we typically be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally we would drag out those pads and do it a little bit harder.
So here I create a little bit of, then like that, okay.
Right, you're listening. Wait,
That,
No,
no,
so when you're here, so you're doing Nahanchi.
okay,
You can also do either of these, right?
so the hunch is okay.
And so like the primary hand, the one that's making the lever, the fulcrum, if it goes palm up, he wants to take a step forward. If I go palm down, he wants to step back.
Okay,
And this is kind of.
maybe we should also kind of look at how that, with each other, see how that affects each other.
So once you get the step in whatever direction, then the near hand, the one that's creating that fulcrum, just drops and you're right into the neck here or
So
here.
the one that lifted the phone is going to now
Correct.
drop the phone and then.
Yeah, so you're just essentially here and then you're swinging down very much spider web kind of motion, right? You're going here and here. So once you're in that position, now the harder you hit this, the more he leans. So you could hit and then be straight into an arm bar that way. There's like 500 different things that can flow into after that.
Give it a shot here, camera.
You ended under it instead of over it,
yeah.
which I already showed how to fix that.
Yeah. Let it go and then strike like that.
Yeah.
And then you go here.
But very much like spider web. Here, watch this real quick. So once I'm here, say I'm facing that way. Here, see my hips. Now I'm facing back.
Okay.
So what you're doing is you're here and you're trying to keep facing this
Totally
way.
forgetting about.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
I've made him take that step and I need to use my body to get that to whip around. To get into here. If I don't, he doesn't bend over. If I just go here, see how his,
He's tied up.
yeah, I'm tied up, I'm across my body. And he's not really giving me much of a neck, but if I'm here and then I do this, he gets this change, which gets this, right? Which makes all that tight for the impact.
Yeah, I need like heads up display and remember footwork. Remember footwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here. Go. Here, like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you hit it just right, like my head kind of went, "Ooh." Without even me trying, just
Okay, I
slid across and it was just right. Well, it wasn't the hand that did it, it was your forearm.
Oh,
No, yeah.
It doesn't take much.
That's much, that's
Stand
to jiggle your brains.
Yeah, particularly your brain and get that vagus,
Yeah.
vagal nerve response.
Yeah, I had a big. You wanna try some more of that, or?
Yeah. Huh. Rock, that's right. Here. And
Switch the spider with, switch with either.
Right hand down.
oh, that's right.
Yeah. And so what happened is you didn't get his arm bent. So from the get-go of this, it was this arm, right? So you went here, and instead of getting a fulcrum and coming up under it, you got a little bit low and you had his arm straight,
Oh,
right? Which
what do you do if you're gonna do arm bar there?
Which is typically when we do a standard arm bar, it's this way.
Right,
But you end up in this position,
Right.
so it's a little bit harder to do, right? And then you're trying to get here,
yeah.
and you're trying to get here because his arm's straight. You would just be better off rowing, and then that naturally allows you to get
Yeah,
the shift.
yeah, yeah. Row.
Again, there's nothing wrong. Again, it's the whole. Sometimes we're our own worst enemies when we're trying to do reps of a particular thing.
Right.
I think that's the only way to go, yeah.
Yeah, we get focused that I've got to make this work, which is good when you're learning a new technique. Yeah, I want to get that technique. But if the stars don't align, there's still something there.
Right,
As long as you're touching a person, there's still a technique there.
right.
Yeah.
And then you guys, you and Tony both would always say, just keep at it, keep you work, if you mess it up, try to make something work.
Yes. That was always one of Tony's biggest pet peeves
Yeah.
is if you just went, I screwed it up, and you disengaged from a technique. It's like fine for white belt, yellow belt, orange belt and stuff, that they don't have enough tools in their arsenal. But once you get to a certain point, you should be like, oh, I screwed up, but I see an arm bar, I see a shoulder drag, I see, something.
More of that? Underhanded?
You underhanded.
You underhanded fella. Think you see these things up there.
So the main problem that you were having was all related to your left foot. So your left foot was pointed this way, and you're trying to take your elbow that way. You're going like this, and your body's facing that way because of your foot. All you had to do was turn that heel,
Yeah,
and then he would
okay.
take that step. Turn that heel a little more. Yeah, you're still trying to take a step of it. See your foot. When you're here, your foot is facing behind his heel, and you're trying to go this way. And you just keep taking a step and trying to do it. All you have to do,
My strength is here.
if I want my power to go this way, which is the way my elbow is aligned, I need my foot pointing the direction that I want my elbow to go. So you're going here, and his body resisting, and all you got to do is go here, and then you've got. So that's all that you needed to do was turn that about 45 degrees.
And take this play.
So see how your toes are aligned to the back of his body. There you are, right there.
Yeah, built it.
Yes,
Where are you?
yes.
Huh, we got a few reps in, we move on to something else.
Rolling.
Here's. Put it in the reference. This one, we're gonna do that. This order, we're gonna. Something else like.
Yeah, before that.
Here. Here. Here.
This, that didn't do anything.
I didn't do it.
Okay. That's where you left it.
Slowing down. And then slide here. Pushing up like that. Oh, I know, I'm not.
Look at your hoses.
Oh, I'm doing that.
Your
I'm doing
conscience
it in the hand, yeah.
still you are.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna see how it affects things.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
That, let it go.
Every time.
Rock'em sock'em robot.
It doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
Just as a reference sake, as you're switching to this,
Mhm.
if you want to practice strikes,
Stood over there.
yeah, just
Okay.
pop the shoulder. If you want to put a little bit of oomph into it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always afraid that ever get into a real life situation.
you're gonna be
I
too
mean, I'm
nice.
gonna naturally go.
Yeah, that is for me to demonstrate rather than act.
So we're gonna check and see how good the book is written.
Yeah.
Don't let your elbow go over. Unless.
No, you're kind of on top here. Yeah, here it is, right
Yeah, but you're going here to here. And I am here, I'm just creating a fulcrum.
You see, it's,
Getting-
yeah, he's not grabbing.
Getting
it.
my bunny hop and going to there. I may go a little bit over, but I'm not going all the way.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Almost just setting on there. He's really grabbing me there.
Yeah, so don't grab so much,
You're
create a fulcrum.
You're creating something from resistance, something for me to resist against. Which you could do and then let go.
Yes,
Create.
you can do the deliberate.
Let me see if I think about this. I'm creating like here. Right? So that's all that.
Which also allows you to do some kind of sliding motion too. Yeah, you're doing, then you're getting bigger actually.
Yeah.
And
In fact.
this always probably here. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay. Focus on this. Focus on. Force it.
Feel your core. Feel how you can push against that. So when I go here, I'm creating this. So now there's, if I go here, touch that side, there's nothing for you to resist with. If I go all the way to here, you will naturally, your human instinct is the second you feel this is you want to push up.
Right.
If I go here, see how you don't feel that?
Yeah.
The second I touch, you feel like you want
But
to
if
push
he
up.
does do.
You can deliver a bridge.
Deliver bridge, then you can grab him.
So if I screwed up and came here and I felt you pushing up, I would just squeeze and release.
Oh,
And it almost turns into that at that point. Because I squeeze and then I open.
that's the side.
Yes. What you got?
Thanks, Mary.
Yeah, Same kind of principle.
With his eggs that were squeaking, a little bit, it's a squeak.
Right.
Was supposed to help us practice holding the egg while you punch and then make sure the egg doesn't squeak.
If I heard you squeak, then I knew you.
Because we punch like this, back, not sitting.
Right.
Very much pulling him. Still got a bunny hop here.
Man, it has to be over here. Your muscle being down, yeah.
See how you're here? Yeah, I'll do the other.
Wow.
So if I am web to web deep, number one, he can do that, but it closes my window. If I am up here, he can't curl his fingers and I've got a bigger window.
That was easy.
But try to get more of the twist also. Right now, you're mostly actually getting it because of finger lifting. Lift here. Yes. Very good.
Yes, you are.
So as this lifts, your heel lifts. This lifts, your heel lifts. This turns, your heel turns. Bunny hop, this lifts, your heel lifts. This rotates, your heel rotates. Do it again, but rotate your forearm. You're right back down here again.
Oh, yeah.
So think, and I'm not gonna close my hand, but ulna, radius. Lift, lift, rotate. So as I am going here, and I'm not gonna put the support hand up there so I don't build up as much pressure. But as I bunny hop, that heel has come off the ground. As I start rotating my hips, I'm not going full like
Yeah,
all the way around. I can't because there's something in the way.
right.
But I'm not just rotating this way. I'm rotating up. Almost like palm here, right? Into it. But I'm letting it rotate maybe 25 degrees-ish.
Like a white belt level or black belt. I feel like I'm.
Yeah, this way.
Heel up.
You up? Okay. Yeah. Another one, that's sort of-
Twist your
Yeah.
finger a little bit.
Right.
Loosen up. We can create a pivot, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of a different technique, you know?
You were essentially doing this, which you could make that work, but it's a little bit more awkward. As you do as you're doing this, you are trying to bring his hand from here to your waist level.
I don't want to go.
Let his knees do that. You can follow it, but you're going here, and then you're like trying to pull his hand down. I'm not doing that. When I do this, I am here. I get my lift, touch, rotate, and see where I keep this until his knees fall. Then I can drop it. You're trying to pull him down instead of letting the buckle bring him down and just follow him.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Right now, one difference I noticed is when you do put your fingers here, this way over here, he is more thick here, right?
Yeah.
Your body would have to be turned in order to get.
I've got smaller hands too, so there might be a little difference there.
But I think it would help him to be more rotated this way anyway.
Putting back to the old web.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I got nothing.
The Eric way to do it is
Against there.
tension, upper block,
Oh.
and then it switches from extension.
You know how Eric is pretty much nerve dead.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
All right, more, get on, yeah, there you go. Then up to that point was good, but then after that. Yeah. Here. And then this to the outside, go like this here. And then, work up.
What happens when you get older?
The diarrhea.
Premature rotation.
Premature, oh. Here. And here. Yeah, but that's still premature rotation?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. So what you're doing is instead of, so I've flinched and I'm here and my hand's on that outside. I lift and this touches and see, I'm only maybe 10, 12 degrees.
Okay.
Then I finish it.
Okay, and I'm
Right.
obsessed with the idea that I have to have it here in this little crease as opposed to, I see, you know, around here.
Yeah, just depends on their hand size, your hand size.
And so I'm thinking I have to get rotated out even further in order to. Thank you.
Pretty smooth response there.
Yeah, it was.
Now you'll think about the next one.
Spoiler alert.
I think that was a little premature also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah, good.
yes. It was the exact technique I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Now,
Weak side.
this is my right side here.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm better on my left side, I'm right here.
That's usually the case. Your dominant side is harder because you're used to being You're used to using your muscles on your strong side.
Hmm.
Your the techniques work better when you don't muscle it.
If it was me, guys, not much there.
Yeah, but it's still, you got more muscles on the right than the left.
Yeah. So.
Different. Got the fingers back,
Oh,
but it still brought me down, it's gonna work.
on Marius. Yeah. Now I can, that one, I ended up all about that many fingers. I mean, that was, I could feel you resisting. Pretty sure with this.
Yes,
I think you read that.
and it was very much,
You had it webbed too, so.
very much you landed premature,
Mhm.
and so there was no rotation in the wrist that was helped
Okay.
by the base.
Like that one.
Okay.
That was the biggest thing, was up here instead of.
We're gonna figure it out very carefully. Hydrate. Oh. We want to try some more of that or something else?
That's good. I was,
Okay, so maybe something not related.
maybe armbar stuff or something.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We never did actually go to that. I don't know.
There's like only one or two kind of accidental arm bars in there. That's all. That book is 99% bruised.
We can work on one part. There's a lot of.
You do all sorts of different things to get into arm bars.
True.
Do you have so arm bar can be from the front, from the side, from the back, as long as we're standing, right? So any particular one you want to work on, front, side, back.
You just do a punch,
Punch,
punch
so
the
from-
fence and then see what
So
happens.
from the punch, my favorite, you know, because people usually do punch, punch. Punch,
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 get a punch a second
punch.
time.
I think.
and then throwing this way, and then get
Drink.
into an armbar that way.
Sorry.
Or even if it's just one punch, if you think pin and float, same thing.
Yeah, there's some things that we do a little different than you are, you're doing, which is whenever you're punching, is you get this elbow in here like this, where you have the back there and this here. And you're trying to get it from out here.
Yeah,
So if you
kind of jumping.
So if you get in here, you can cause
Yeah.
because you not only does it give you more structure when you strike, you've already gotten them going this way a little bit. Then the next,
The other thing,
the rowing motion.
is where thinking about. You're thinking about the fulcrum, I'm trying to push this, and this is the action part.
Yes,
And I always, that's one of the things I need to work on,
Yeah.
it's not pushing down.
But
not
also,
pushing down.
but also getting that
pulling.
where you can do that rowing
Yeah.
motion, where you crowd them, you know, you've got them over here as opposed to out here.
Right,
I should be like this.
That's my number one complaint when I see cops in most martial arts systems is the pushing in the center.
yeah,
Cause it don't work if you're small like me. It
Right.
just don't work.
so.
hands forward, one back.
Yeah. And then another thing is, whenever you have someone like this, you have them like that, you're about ready to pull up, you're on your foot here, let up on that leading foot and let yourself fall into it.
Like a bunny rabbit thing.
Mhm. Well, I would think, you probably want it to be more out like this, or does it matter? He had me out. Doesn't matter.
Body types. I'll be a little bit closer because I got smaller arm. Okay.
I didn't know if that helps at all, if we keep them all crowded.
It
in.
seems to me like you're rotating this a little bit too much.
Yeah, yeah,
Because his arm keeps wanting to.
yeah, yeah.
And
And I'm still pushing down.
so you end up, and Tony does this too. I don't know. It's just personally, I don't like it. You end up thumb and finger straps on the wide part. Right, here's the wide part, here's the narrow part. So you're kind of ending up that way. So when you end up rolling them, you've got to curl this hand a lot more to get that elbow in the right spot. This way, where my palm touches the flat, see, this is a little bit straighter. I'm a little bit more powerful, able to do it. I don't have to do this. And when you do this motion, you feel a huge weakness up here. So the way I think of this is as I pass this off, I'm going thumb on the pinky side, pinky on the thumb side. I'm flat to
Which
flat.
also gives you that ability, to
Yeah,
get that hand into that.
It lets you milk that too, which helps prevent them from bending. Right, because for him to bend this, he has to put pressure back at that thumb, and so it makes it harder. It's not impossible, but it makes it harder. Yes.
Switching arm.
Okay.
Due to pain.
We're at this way. Here.
As you pull up. It's like all these little things, yeah, as you.
Only 22 things.
Yeah.
Just 22.
What's the 21 half?
Yeah, at any time that we find, I think when we get into this situation where we're in a groove or something, if we can do any of that, little
Yeah.
milking,
Yeah.
huge benefit.
Yeah. Push down.
Well, try that, what I was doing, just hold my arm like this. Set this here, up here like that, and then see what happens when you don't. I mean, I'm just all on with that.
Here.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big difference.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's straight that motion. Uh-huh.
That's- I didn't even put a lot of pressure on it.
That's the beauty of it. That's why, it's like one of a billion things. Nahanchi, it's, I was talking earlier how much I love Shiho, but so many just fundamental things with arm bars and wrist locks are straight out of Kyoto. That's why I thought it was so important. Just that little motion with arm bars is phenomenal. To me, it's funny when I teach these really big cops, a lot of them, you know, been doing steroids or whatever the new stuff is, like steroids for years and pumping iron. And they cannot understand how somebody small can make them whip around the way they do when I do arm bars on them. It's just like,
Which is how you get these new martial arts that say that it's due to magic.
I mean, it looks like when you see Taekwondo stuff, you're just like, how the hell is that little guy doing it? It looks fake. People look, so we're 12 and a half years past Taika's death. People constantly see videos of Taika doing stuff and they think it's fake. They think it's, you know, like some of the Aikido videos where they're flipping themselves and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, nope, been there on the other end of that. None of his stuff is fake. It's just all these little bitty things and they're all straight out of kata.
Which
But-
is why when he was at, down at Whitman Air Force Base doing that presentation I told you about.
Yeah.
He was doing the neck strikes and instead of doing it on his own black belts, he had one of the Air Force guys, a big guy there, and he took the Air Force, guy's wife's hand. And he starts just playing with her hand on this guy's neck, and you know, he's talking to people, and he just said, blah, 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 and this guy's getting kind of bored, she's getting loosened up because she's bored, and all of a sudden, boom, and this guy was, his eyes go like this, and the black belts are already ready to coffee. You know,
That's one of his favorite things to do during demos.
Yeah, I saw it done like that once, just like you said, whoa, okay.
yeah, it was hard to say it was fake because it was obvious the guy was in uniform, he belonged in the base. And there was a wife there.
Typically, the way he operated back in the days when his seminars were public is he would demonstrate on his black belts initially some technique and then tell everybody partner up, and then he'd walk around and headhunt every other style that was at the seminar and just drop all of their black belts. That was like his thing to do. There'd be 20 guys from Shotogan there, and he'd make sure he dropped 3 or 4 of them right off the bat at the beginning of the seminar.
Which must have, is that what happened with John Newton? He got converted somehow?
I don't, John was, in Okinawa.
John Newton was?
Newton was stationed over there for a short time.
Yeah, I knew it was in the military.
Very, very short time.
I have some
But
story I
that's how
heard
he-
was that how he got converted was he got asked by Oyata and he said, okay.
Yeah,
And then proceeded to teach us anything but
you
Oyata.
can get online and ask him
Yeah,
on one of his YouTube videos.
yeah. You don't take it.
Oh,
All right, you wanna put something?
Okay, we were,
Oh, yeah. One more.
any way you want to get this.
that there. That.
Oh.
How's your back today?
I actually interviewed someone,
Oh, that's good.
was tearing out that closet was weeks ago, so I had time to get better, but still need it. Still a little pain,
So go easy on, taking him much
yeah.
over. So I would say for improvement for you is you're here.
Uh-huh. Calm down, okay.
Yeah, okay, you really want to be able to, there's an ulnar stylus, you want to be down in here. So that you can put that,
Okay.
that. See how my thumb is a little deformed there, the little
Oh
notches?
my God.
That's from years of decades of putting bone into bone. Basically, when we're doing Tuite, we are taking these bones, pushing them into the nerve and pushing them into the ulnar stylus head. When I do armbar, I'm putting that bone into the nerve, into the ulnar stylus.
So that's the reason why you don't, why you don't have it directly in the notch. You seem to have it a little above the notch, so you can say, I'm going to allow you to go there.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see how it feels.
So here's your ulnar stylus head. Why is this one hair white? And so the nerve runs in that channel right there. So I'm putting that little notch there and going there. So when I slide down to do the arm bar, that's the first thing I'm doing is going there.
Okay,
And then,
okay, yeah, I see, yeah.
and I don't know if you felt it, but essentially at the moment that I lift the effort, right? I set the fulcrum and I lift the effort. The moment I lift it, I squeeze. And so I'm squeezing, attacking that nerve,
Oh,
which you naturally, and I'll do it even with this finger too. What naturally happens to your arm? Straightens. So if I go, if I come in and I get into this position, even if this arm is a little bit bent, right? Probably even as my elbow is going to intercostal brachialis, I'll pop that and it makes their arm straighter. So I'm creating the fulcrum here, but I'm also fulcrum, effort. Fulcrum, effort. I've got two fulcrums, two efforts going on when I do that.
and last time that you critiqued something that I was doing with armbar was you noticed that as I was doing my rowing motion, I had this all open here. You said I was pushing and then grabbing, and you were saying that what happens if
Yeah.
pushing and then
Yeah. All he's got to do is yank his hand there because you've got nothing.
yeah.
But yeah, I immediately have, and I really am only using that middle finger. These other two are just completely relaxed.
Mhm.
I'm in that position. So at this position, he has to pull his hand this way. It's a little difficult. I mean, he has to do that to get out of it because I've got this in the front. I may be here. I like to go here because when I squeeze your thumb this way, it weakens your hand.
Yeah.
So squeezing that way weakens your hand. Pressure makes him start to go that direction, which hits this.
So after you show me that I'm around the house annoying my wife by doing this, just for no reason at all, talking or something. Just why are you doing that in class?
You're doing it to yourself, or you're doing it to her?
I'm doing it to myself.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just going up. Hey, honey, how you doing?
No.
What's for breakfast? Yeah.
No, it's just getting used to the idea that I'm grabbing and instead of, yeah, because you know, what do you do? When you got a wife that's moving to whatever, right?
True. So think about that. I'm thinking about, we talked about before with the, what is it called, the deliberate bridge or whatever.
Mhm.
So if you were gonna try to, you know, do the armbar on me, I suppose I'm gonna fight it. Okay?
You're right here, okay.
So I wanna fight it.
Okay.
I'm tight.
Okay.
Go ahead, try to do the armbar. Okay, so I'm thinking about the deliberate bridge. So look at where I'm pushing. Go ahead and do the motion. Okay, where's my power? It's going that way, right?
Okay, you're strong this way.
Yeah.
Instead of that.
So
Or you're thinking
So-
like that.
Push.
Okay, and the deliberate bridging is happening here.
Yeah, so I was,
Oh, okay, I was
So-
trying to do something here.
okay.
so
Anyway,
I'm here and he pushes up, squeeze, release, squeeze.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
You see, now when I got confused, I thought I was doing it here. I was pressing and then there you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you could, if you're in the groove and and they're resisting you, you could go palm towards you, back.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is here I'm in the groove and you start resisting. I go palm towards me, which puts pressure on your tricep. So now you're pushing tricep.
oh,
And then I just roll, I deliberate bridge. I touched your tricep, you tense the tricep. I just rolled straight back and all the pressure released.
Magic.
I wonder what that motion was.
Salute or something.
So you look that bridge, release. Bridge, release. That's a deliberate bridge. So Tuite, so again, most of the time Tuite did arm bars, it was this way or this way. Because I have to keep them all the way to the ground to handcuff them, I kind of developed my own way of doing it this way. And that's what I teach, because I teach probably more cops than I do karate people over the years, right? But I need to be able to hold on to this when I get to the ground because I got to get cuffs out and put the cuffs on, right? Tuite would just break your arm here. And you're probably not going to fight with a broken arm.
Right.
And if you did, Tuite would just break the other arm. Now you're a paraplegic trying to fight Tuite, and then you'd probably break your leg.
How does this, doing it this way, facilitate the breaking of an arm versus the way it did it?
So, well, what I'm saying is he would just do that motion, and me being here, I'm on that, and then when I release and I pop it, you see, it doesn't take very much at all.
Right.
I barely moved, and your body reacted. If you did it like the kata, you went like that in the kata, this would be broken.
But the technique actually becomes arm break.
But so the problem with it is if I break this arm, it's now a wet noodle. I can't control you with that arm anymore.
Right.
So Tuite gave me, we were talking about this earlier, Tuite gave me a whole bunch of tutelage on police stuff versus regular martial arts stuff. Because I personally think in today's day, and with lawsuits and everything, if I did that and broke somebody's arm, outside of cop mode, if I'm out in the park and somebody attacks me and I break their arm, the way this stupid world works is you attacked me, but you win the lawsuit and I end up paying you. I end up paying your hospital bills because I broke your arm. We live in this really weird, stupid world now. And again, it depends on, I hate to bring up politics, but it depends on if you are in a county that leans left, prosecutorially. Is that actually a word? Prosecutorially, it is now. If your prosecutor, your lead prosecutor's office leans left or right, and typically if the prosecutor leans that way, the judges do too. So in a very, and again, there's extremes of that, right? You can have the judge that's just insane left or insane right. That's, one marijuana joint and the far right judge gives them 6 months of jail time or something for personal use. And then you have the far left judge that dismisses every case that's drug related. So again, it is what it is. Wherever you live, if I just break an arm, I could, in a very liberal area, end up having to pay all of his hospital bills and maybe even pain and suffering too.
Well, you should.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's one thing that as a cop drove me nuts, because we have 4 counties in Kansas City. So you've got 4 different court systems for state, plus the city court, plus the juvenile court and everything. And one of the 4 counties when I was coming through was very, very liberal. The other 3 were very, very right, conservative. And so a person could do something in Jackson County, a person do it in Clay County, the exact same thing, with the same amount of damage or injury to somebody, and they get completely different sentences. And to me, the way my brain works is everything in life, nothing in life is equal or fair, but you should always strive to make things equal and fair, right? You should strive for that goal. And when one person does something and gets diversion or probation and the other person does it and it gets a year in jail. And it's just like that stuff as an officer drives you nuts.
That's just like, my daughter's, divorce hearings, the first one, with Judge Gardner. He leaned toward, Tom, who, he cheated on her, but yet she has to pay the $40,000 lawyer fees. That he dragged up. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The second hearing, the second judge, he leaned in her favor, but he couldn't override the first one, even though he knew that Tom was perjuring himself and this.
More of that,
Failed system in my opinion.
more of those goodies, are you gonna keep that on your video?
Oh, I would cut that part. I would cut the politics out of the video.
Okay, just.
I did cut some stuff out of the video that I sent you guys, and that video was only sent to the people here plus a couple of other people that I know. You know, it's not a public video. It's an unlisted video. Anytime I do those Zooms, I don't really want them because it's not a formal thing. It doesn't look that good because we're just kind of randomly experimenting.
Plus, the first thing I saw was, oh, I need a haircut. Okay, some more goodies here. More, are you okay with?
Keep arm bars, or
are you starting to feel?
Well, my wrists are fine now.
Okay,
Back to
the. We
That's
did
your
one,
20-minute break.
we did one thing with the outside, missed the outside, which is this one here. So it was both thumbs down, so. You got, this is saying that this is down and this is down. So instead of wrapping, we're
doing like this.
Oh, is this still miss to the outside?
Yeah.
With the thumbs, is this the thumbs down one?
Thumbs down here,
Yeah.
we don't want it.
No. This one's. Let me make sure I'm all right. Yeah. So. You're still coming the same way, right? As you do this, you're coming thumb down. Kind of like you're trying to put your thumb in your belly button.
Oh, that was really. You try that? Fine, you got here to the camera in case you decide to not cut this part out.
And this ends up almost like Nahaji on, not quite there, but your elbow. So you're essentially creating your fulcrum and then lifting your elbow. That makes sense. And you're lifting both of them.
Watch what he's doing because he's not here.
So if I go and touch here, he's got a bridge, and I think that's what you're doing. So I'm going here,
And there's space there.
and there's space, right? So as I come in, I've missed to this, and I just go here, and I'm not touching the back of his hand at
So
all.
effective.
I'm like here. Hey, is that?
Do it slow because it really hurts.
Still touching your hand.
Right, that's
So turn your body a little bit more to bring your right forearm off of his body. Touch, and then pull that to your belly.
I didn't want to because
Yeah.
My teacher hurt me. What are the mechanics that are making this work? I can't figure out what this has to do with anything.
Looks, I guess it is. Like, it's one of the 4 possible palm
Is it
grabs.
time for your nap?
Is this? Yeah. I did not. I had one of those.
Okay.
Martial
I did
minds.
the same thing you did. I didn't use the correct hand.
So we're missing to the outside. And I'm
You see, at this point in time here, I don't have no idea what this is doing, causing anything other than,
This is preventing escape.
That's
That's
it.
all it is doing. Now,
his thumb is touching my hand.
that's all
And
it's
I think
touching.
you, I think you had just had your thumb down past it.
You're like this,
And you're,
right? And so he's able to bridge.
he's creating this
So that's touching.
escape here, that's it.
All I'm doing is preventing escape here. No other thing. This is the only spot that's touching. Is right there. That little knuckle, right there is what's touching. Get a Sharpie on.
You're touching me all over the place.
Your right wrist was bent like this instead of this. So as you get, once you get to where the knuckle touches, think palm heel a little bit. Think extend your wrist. You are also low on the.
Didn't have any of that pain that he did, did, but I got the head, we got the head whipped out of me.
So, this is. Actually, forget what's that through.
Yeah, turn.
So, see how I get that? Yes, just enough room.
Has to escape that ability here.
I've got just enough room to get this.
Now it changes.
Now you can see.
This has been,
And now it's bunny hop time. And I did that, my right heel came off the ground, maybe a quarter of an inch. That was the bunny hop. And then I curled it down.
Okay, so
like that.
the thing I'm confused with, we were talking about the home field thing. So when I'm thinking about the home field thing, I'm thinking this kind of motion.
This is the palm heel.
Oh, that's the palm. heel.
Wrong hand.
this is the one we do the bunny hop on. You've actually got a
Okay.
pretty good grip on me here.
Okay.
Yeah, wrong hand.
You've got a really good grip on it. And it feels like you could do something with it. Yeah.
Yeah, see, you guys,
And I didn't even do anything with this.
yeah, you're not,
It's just preventing.
it's just right there. And then once their knees buckle, then you can bring it to.
I would also suggest that time when you did it, you didn't pull it back in towards, you leave it out there.
Yeah.
Because you had.
Otherwise,
it,
yeah,
and then it was,
otherwise- Otherwise, loosen my thumbs and.
So that first time you buckle them, you got the Nahanchi cross, you got a speed cross.
Interesting.
Very typical, Taika would do it all the time. But it's, where we get to where we're like doing that arrowhead thing. Taika would initially get you going one way and direct you to cross your feet.
I have a suggestion. When you make your video, you should take the sign that you made outside your door and make a little area right there in the middle of the film, so it's no politics in it. I'll just cut that out. I don't want to be funny though.
What?
There again, I don't know what causes it to feel better for me when he pulls it back in for himself at the end there.
So
I don't know what
I
to
think
think.
I
Try that.
just thinking about that.
You've done it several times and I don't know. Yeah, and then you bring it in like that and then.
he's filling his drink at this point.
Oh,
Yeah, I lose, you lose the torque that you've got on my wrist as you pull it in like that. Now, you really got, yeah, you have a very good lock on it. But then when you pulled it this there, you went away. I felt a release of pressure as you had me here.
You
And
can't pull it to your belly button until the knees button.
oh,
You're setting your fulcrum or your stop, your support, you're setting that point to prevent them from escaping. Knee buckle, then you pull it.
it's a timing thing.
Yeah, it is a time. The knee buckle, the reactionary retreat, the body doing that motion, sympathetic nerve motion, is truly, if you're truly doing Tuite and not pain compliance, if you're actually doing the nervous system reaction and banking on that, you're getting either knee buckle or ankle lift.
Oh, yeah, as we call it.
Yeah, rodeo, whatever you want to call it. But once you get that, then you can move them wherever you want because they're no longer in a good stance. Right. So if you put the cart before the horse, if you start moving before you've got the sympathetic nerve response, then it's going to be more probably pain compliance. Which is a horrid thing to bank on.
Yeah, and then we can switch back, so you're gonna apply that. Here, we're missing to the outside, this.
Except not this.
Oh, yeah. This, that,
Yes.
this. There's
yeah, my elbow,
Elbows
this
get-
way.
Yes.
You spilled the drink.
our.
Still stretched out though.
Yeah, you did.
Here.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Yeah, I forgot to do it. He shows us how to redirect that elbow back in the ribs, and I forgot about that.
So let me, exactly what you just did, I wanna see what you did to make the knees buckle. What point did you lose buckle?
Yeah, the first time, the reason why I redid it was the first time trying to do it here, instead of putting the elbow there.
Yeah.
And then here.
Okay. So I actually buckled as you were coming around, bringing that in.
So your bunny hop went back
As opposed to this.
as opposed to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't the kind of buckle that you're shooting for.
Right.
You're trying to attack this.
I was trying to show you how to do it incorrectly.
You're just trying to make your knees buckle no matter what.
You reverted to the previous technique.
Oh, I
You didn't
did.
do thumb down.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess I like it. Well, we maybe buckle or whatever. There you go. Nope. You pushed me back.
Yeah, I was over exaggerating, trying to get that bunny hop, you know.
And you reverted.
This is now time for me.
Half time for bongo.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to push you into your strength here instead of out here or something or that way. Should be line. Here. I don't want to go this way because.
So get back into this technique
Do-
and put your thumb there.
I think I know what's going on.
Hold on. You got your thumb. Now your chest is pointing towards that. You're gonna rotate both heels Now do it.
Okay. Would feel more effective, or at least,
I think I know what the problem is.
okay.
The hair.
Oh, I'm still new, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
wait. All right, we get back to that point. Okay, now, think about what you're gonna do with this. He said it before.
Yeah, so now I want to move over here. Back.
What was the term we used? It was the,
Funny,
no,
right?
no. Nothing to do. But no, not Shiva hop either. It was the push,
Palm heel?
palm heel, yeah,
Oh, I'm not doing
you're
it.
not doing that.
Oh,
And you're letting. It's still a little bit. You're
Yes.
still, you're sloshing your journey.
we could write a song about all these different, trying to fit it into it. Okay.
Now, without even doing this, just try the palm heel real quick, see what kind of effect.
And your angle of attack is still going close. It's proximal to the left foot instead of to the
Yeah. Well, we do one more on this.
I can keep it. Now, angle of chest is right. Out there. Okay, right. So if and you're touching. So take both heels about 2 inches that way. Now. Bunny hop, but think about trying to get my fingers up as you bunny hop. Yes. Yes.
See, you didn't guide me like that. This is how you hurt me. It's like what Scott always says, let me show you how to hurt me.
So those angles, I mean, if you took a T-square and put it across your chest with your sternum being the angle, that's where you want, as you do these things, I'll go light, but I want to come in, my T-square is hitting here. Now where's my T-square? Where's the principle of X? My T-square needs to be where that is to get the most optimum response.
And in this case, although you weren't, what I did was I moved out this way so I could bring it down here. You stayed here and just brought my arm into my missing tail.
To be, and the smaller you are, the more important it is to be force efficient. So when I'm doing techniques, I'm trying to line up my T-square perfectly with that angle of attack during the technique. Every time. T-square is now here. Right? T-square is out there. So wherever that thing moves, I'm trying to use my body, get it into the most efficient alignment. Otherwise, I'm having to use these muscles to crank, and I don't want to do that. I want everything to stay relaxed.
There are things with your possible plans for opening up your own home dojo.
You know, we'll see how things are, actually looking positive because my wife found a, storage unit, Blue Spring.
So we're gonna do it in the storage.
So that we can, so any stuff that my daughter and then we're not using, we can put it in the storage unit, so I still have
15
my.
boxes of
So I
miscellaneous.
still hopefully have my dojo area.
So your dojo dues will be paid for the storage units.
I'm not doing it.
I know.
Yeah.